We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you. Every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you. Every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. the foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you.
ADR Networks presenta.
This is Celestine Angel.
And I'm Isaac Crouch.
And this is...
Foreign Show!
On that foreign show.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the show.
I'm Celestine Angel.
I'm Isaac Rakesh.
And we're here on ADR Networks, activating
Your senses. All right.
All right, we're going to start with That Insider, the first segment of our show. And this one is introduction. Today's an introduction to a language school. Actually, I think it's just Laka Ele, that's his name, and another lady.
Right.
And they are doing all kinds of things for teaching language. That the idea for them is that they will help you to immerse in Mexico City. It's language teaching that is very functional, that you know all the slangs, what does this mean, and they also bring you around. It's an immersive process, as I said.
Yeah, I saw on their Facebook page, they actually talk about learning the language through tours.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they organize that kind of stuff as well, right? Like
Yeah.
bring people around.
Yeah, something like that. It's I think they have different things all the time. So the idea is that you check what they have going on, and yeah, and also they also do like kind of like networking kind of thing, but I'm not sure in what sense it's done. And that is completely free. It's to come together like a community,
Like an
event,
get together.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah,
pretty
that's
cool.
completely free. Also, I think like talking about the charges, I think that the language lessons are very cheap. You just need to check. And they are also, Tlaka told me to mention that he also does it online. So it's much easier. It's classes that are online. Also, if you want like on site and for him to bring you around, and that's probably discussable. So
you can do that as well.
Yeah.
I guess that's part of the thing that they offer.
Right. So after, if you're there, could you put the Instagram page on, or the website? Let me just show him which one is it.
Intercambio, that's the name of
Intercambio
the school.
Cultural Exchange.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
All right, here we go.
So this is the Instagram.
So as you see, it's the Mexican Spanish thing, and this is what they are offering.
And so just to let you guys know, Tlaka does both ways. So he teaches Spanish to English speakers and English to Spanish speakers. So if you need the other way around, you want to brush up on your English, any Mexicans that might be watching us want to get like a better spoken English, he's also the guy for you.
Very cool. I mean, this is definitely a fun way to learn the language, right?
Yeah. And like Tlaka is a really, really nice guy, good vibes and everything. So you definitely enjoy your sessions with him for sure. Okay, so is our guest here yet, Arthur? Do you know? Can we see if? Oh,
Hey,
hi.
hello. Hi, welcome to the show.
We can't hear. Could you turn on could you hear
Yeah.
well?
Yeah, I could hear.
I hear nothing.
Yes,
on my
pretty
side.
soft.
Sorry, give me a
Just
second, Monique.
turn this up.
Okay, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, testing.
Can you
Okay,
hear
hi.
us?
Yes. Great.
Perfect. Welcome to the
So
show.
let me turn it up a bit more.
This time you got a gray kind of background.
Yeah, now we have the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Illuminati gray, we call it. Well, welcome to the show.
So how are you and where are you now?
So I'm visiting my parents right now near Dallas, Texas. It's really hot, so I have this fan
Okay.
going on. But I usually am in San Francisco. That's where I live.
Right. So yeah, I mean, so usually you're in San Fran, and right now you're in Texas, not too far from Mexico.
Yeah, just for the weekend.
Right. I don't suppose you will come and visit, right? I mean, for this weekend.
Well, you are coming back to Mexico to do some projects, right?
Yeah, I'd love to come back. I'm thinking like February, March. I loved
Okay.
being there and
Cool.
meeting you both there last year.
Right.
Yep.
Yes. So
Nice.
okay. Let's let the audience know that this is part 2 of Monique's episode.
Yeah.
It's the last time we did the show with her. We don't know what happened to the video. Now it's not watchable, so we are redoing and catching up again. So, do you have anything new to share with us? Let's start with that. Do you have anything new to share with us? Like regarding Connect, which is Monique's art collective.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where to start since we last spoke. I think that what's been newer for me in Connect is looking for more physical spaces that we could frequent more often. I think the goal of Connect is to empower community, especially creative folks, and to find connection to themselves, to each other, and just like get into flow. And I think a lot of collaborations have been more ad hoc, and we're trying to figure out how to do these more regularly, like in co-working spaces or other like healing places, stereotypically like yoga, but maybe beyond that as well, maybe activating other art spaces that exist. And so that takes time to build trust. There's a lot of vacancies in San Francisco right now. A lot of places just have like 3 out of like 200 people in one building, for example. So those places, could be used for a lot more creativity. And how do you frame the thing to be a win-win for everyone?
Right. So right now, how often do you guys come together? How regular is
I would
the
say
meetup?
that, Connect is still new. I would say that Connect is an extension of me as a creative, and I'm trying to help promote all of the creatives within my life. And hopefully we can become more organized and empower the existing art institutions or people or groups and promote them and connect them to each other. And I'd say like, how often do we have events? They vary. We have them on average around once a month. And then sometimes individuals within the group will do their own things, and we'll just promote those events and workshops and such.
So essentially, it's not you are organizing the events, but you're working with fellow creators who have their own kind of like networks as well, right?
Yeah, like just last week, I did a joint event with a coaching community called Ether, and they're based mostly in LA, but in a couple other places like Miami and New York, and they're branching out into San Francisco. So we did a joint event that brought in different musicians, a local chef, his name is Chef Nui, who works at Michelin star restaurants, and sound healing. And the goal was to bring diverse leaders together to connect with each other and to celebrate life. And hopefully it goes beyond that. And I think that there are different levels of engaging people. Like if you're new to each other, you need a little bit of social engineering before you can like jump into the details of like what a project could be.
Right. Actually, I found it very interesting when you mentioned earlier about like bringing the the creatives to connect, because I mean, I've been thinking about this in terms of art, like that art is about connection, you know, like, I mean, one of the parts of it, like, because when you express, you are reaching out to the world. So, could you let me know what you think about that? Because I mean, I see that that's one of the main things for you.
Yeah. So art is so the question, what relates to me is like, I can have connection through art, and I can have connection. There's an art within connection. So I think that there are many layers of how to answer this question.
Okay.
So I'll start with the first one, like the art of connection within people. So I would consider myself a social engineer, where I like am hyper aware of like people's skills, needs, interests. And when I'm curating different events, I'm trying to help people match with that, whether it was through like an intake process where I learn about what they're looking for, what their intention is. Every event I try to have is really highly intentional. And we have very specific containers where we open with like a group circle and then we close. So there's like this presence that we all hold in the space that we're in together. And then when you can take art with the creatives, it's taking that intention and then like making something out of it. And so I did a shoot recently with different folks, including someone named Cece, who's an incredible photographer, and another friend, Jason, who's also another amazing photographer. I've worked with them for many years, and I've worked with them independently. And so that this was a new project where we had different API, Asian Pacific Islander women, take up. So we came together to first just an intention of like why we're here. We're here to celebrate a sisterhood of empowerment, of shedding away the stereotypes and the boundaries that people have put around us, and minimizing and limiting those limiting beliefs that may echo in our minds. And how do we express that through photos? A lot of people that I brought together weren't ever models before, and just helping coach them through that process, like getting comfortable, like just like, you know, dressing in authentic cultural clothing and posing in ways that are a lot more modern and maybe a little bit more aggressive than what you would expect of a standard Asian American in a cultural dress. And not
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're doing that like on purpose, right? To kind of break all the like stereotypes and all that.
Yeah. I think like what I want for the world and what I hope for Connect is that we bring diversity together. And we've seen it through things like sports, that people can come together, but we can see it through art too, and music, where we can celebrate all those cultures. And that's something really exciting to me. And I would also love to push the lines of connection in society beyond just race, but also with age and income and all of those different dimensions that we classify how people are different from each other, versus what do we have together is we have creativity, we have joy. We want to celebrate each other.
Right. So like on the connection topic, like relating back to Mexico. So it's cool that like, you know, you're like, I mean, the question is mainly about like when you travel, so you have the interest to connect with the artists like in the other countries and then see what comes out from there, you know? So, I mean, I think that, I mean, there'll be the vibe of San Francisco, of the collective that you got there, and then like what you're building up here in Mexico. So do you have ideas for that? Like the next time you come, what you're going to do?
Yeah. Well, we could brainstorm right now together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you do. I mean, you carry the vibes with you, right? Wherever you go. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you said. You're a social engineer. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm so honored that you've invited me to speak and that you are putting on this show to celebrate these individuals from all over the world. Like, just for a little bit of background, I'm a daughter of immigrants from Vietnam and Laos. I grew up near Detroit. I live in San Francisco. I've traveled the world a lot. I've connected with folks in Europe, Asia, and now we're talking about folks in Mexico City. And I love connecting with creatives because it's another language where I may not always speak fluently in whatever language they are. Mostly not. I'm just mostly fluent in English. So there's a lot of empathy and like cultural differences that you just have to give the benefit of the doubt. And I'm not perfect. I've made lots of mistakes and I own them. And I want to like take it forward and move forward and like always ensure that I'm giving the right credits, you know, communicating more than what people expect. Even if someone's like, oh, it's all chill. It's like, no, like you actually need to put sometimes contracts down, make sure that like It's there. It's not
Yeah.
because we don't trust each other, but it's because we didn't communicate enough. I mean, I'm a product manager by day, and people tell me what they want. They never know exactly what they want, and then I can't even communicate it properly all the time. So like, in order to facilitate that kind of work, like, I have to ask more questions. I have to embrace the curiosity. So to answer like, what can I do in Mexico with you? Well, I'd first figure out like, what's the purpose? What's the why? You know, the art of gathering. Like, I would say my need is one, but I want to know what your needs are because I want to collaborate with you both. So my need would be to continue to celebrate life and inspire creativity and diversity and connection. And ideally, we can do that with authentic relating and through some kind of art medium. So then I want to learn about what you're excited about, whether it's like the way that we connect over what medium. I love food, art, and music combined, if ideal. So I know folks there, and you do too, who are amazing chefs and musicians.
Yeah.
You know, tons of artists. So how do we combine those elements together?
Well, for us, when we do our presentations, our art, it's kind of like that. Also, it's like a bit of a performance art kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like,
why it's fun to discuss this with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, usually what like personally I would do is like, if there's something that I'm always on something, you know, I'm always like, right now I'm inspired by this idea, like, let me just explain to you, like, for example, right now we are really like discussing and feeling and thinking about the healthy ego, because for a long time, like, we always just talked about getting rid of the ego, you know, getting rid of identity, the fears that come with it, blah, blah, blah. And then like, we feel like we're now coming full circle and understanding that we need also the healthy ego to, you know, to have value to see ourselves with value, you know? Yeah. And like, and so I'm on this topic right now, and I would love to like explore that in art. So we're always like that. So like, whatever, like, if we're still on it when you come, like in March, and if we're here, because we don't know if we'll be back in Singapore at that time, like, we would love to explore creating art in that angle, you know?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, I have a question for you, and like, when you put an event together, and once the event is concluded, right? Do you what changes do you feel, or how do you determine like the event has kind of fed your soul in some way, or your goals, you know?
Yeah. I love the topic of healthy ego. That's a new growth edge for me. We can talk about that after. And then to answer your question, Isaac, around like, how do I know if it's fed my soul or not? It really depends on the event. The truth is, I could do a better job with delegating and like working with more folks sustainably, like pre, during, post event. And I would say that usually affirmations fuel me, like knowing that like I hear that someone felt inspired or is going to do something as a result of coming to an experience. And I love it even more when they met someone individually. I love it even more when they say that they loved everyone. And that has happened at events. Like, wow, like, the quality of people that you've invited is such a high caliber. And like, it's hard to sometimes be a community organizer and worry about like inclusivity versus exclusivity, but it's just as important to exclude people who aren't in alignment of values or who aren't going to add to the event. And that's really something that I like am learning how to do.
But yeah, for real, right? I mean, saying no, you know, and things like that, and I mean, we find a lot of people who are on this path of like self-discovery or the spiritual path. I mean, they have problems with things like that, you know, like functioning in that kind of, you know, where your boundaries are and things like that. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting topic. Yeah, we should definitely do something.
Like, so on this topic of the healthy ego, right? Like self-love, blah, blah, blah. I saw on Instagram that you married yourself. I saw a photo of you and you. Yeah, could you tell us about that?
Yeah. So I think for a lot of my life, I wanted my identity and my worth to be validated by other people. And I was in a really long-term relationship at one point for almost 7 years. And I really wanted certain milestones like marriage and kids to like prove that it was like a valid relationship. And I wasn't going to get those. And even then I was like, why did I spend so much time with someone who wasn't in alignment with me? I just was committed. I had made that decision early on. And when I was doing that, I lost connection to myself. I was just serving this identity of being in this relationship. And I really felt stifled for a really long time. I didn't realize that. I had more anxiety and depression, but I just pushed through because as my immigrant parents show me, you just got to push through and you'll get through it. And that's not always like the right thing, but it has gotten me through a lot of things in life. And I'd say like when I decided to like marry myself, I went on this journey for a couple of years of like really trying to invest in myself, like asking myself, what do I want? Going through a lot of therapy, coaching, you know, silent retreats, investing in my art again. And I was like, I freaking love myself and I want to spend more time with you. And when I take care of myself, I'm just nicer to everyone else. And I just better. And it's better for the world. So
yes.
And one of the other topics that we were really getting into just a while ago, it's the idea that we are really absolutely already complete, you know. And then when you marry yourself, that is the same vibe, you know. You are complete. You are whole. You are everything. So
it's almost like
that. Yeah.
This whole
although we are married, right? I'm just making a joke. What do you say?
I didn't
it's like
metaphorically.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What?
She didn't legally.
Is that even possible? That's possible.
I think it's possible. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So then,
okay. Let me research about that and see how that works. You know, like what benefits there are.
I'm trying to think also. You become people.
Because I mean, it's paperwork in the end, right? There's supposed to be like some kind of like things that come with it, right? So if you marry yourself, I don't know what benefits there are. You know, Anyway, you were going to ask a question?
No, I mean like this on this topic or that this journey that we're all on, basically. There are many words that kind of describe the same thing, you know, like self-love, you know, motivation, you know, inspiration, all these kind of things. And it's almost like we can never tire out of coming up with words to describe this thing that we're talking about, you know, like being in the flow, like you said, you know, Ikigai, right? And I guess so. As artists, it's like our job to keep pointing to that spot, you know, to that spot of progress, movement, and this topic that you touched on, Monique, about Asian families having this kind of like, you just gotta, you know, kind of a guilt complex in a way where you just have to not talk about your stress and stuff, but kind of just move on.
Is that what you were saying? Like, I mean, I know you're talking about like being immigrants, got to be hardworking, you got to like just go for it and don't give up. And so your view on love, you know, has that as well. And you didn't let go even when the relationship wasn't working out, right? That's what you were saying earlier.
Yeah, definitely what you both said. So, how do I say? First, I did push through a lot of things without telling people when I struggled, and I still sometimes struggle. But I'm trying to always embrace my courage. And more recently on Instagram, just trying to like share what I'm doing. I have this compulsion to just share, because if I don't share it, then like people don't have the awareness that other people struggle. And it's okay to struggle. And it's beautiful. Like I struggle every day, you know, whatever it is, smaller or bigger, and I can decide how much I want to feel about it. And then in relationships, I think that on a more philosophical level, there's chemistry, compatibility, and choice. And I think in that relationship, I just made a choice. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to stick through it. Like, even if like compatibility wasn't there anymore. And then I just have a little bit more, I would say like a combination of power, self-esteem, and just like honesty with myself. And courage to also break away from things. I mean, when you're with someone for so long as you two have been, you get integrated with one's family. You get integrated with the friends. And when the key relationship ends, obviously so many of those ties just weaken or end.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you feel bad and all that, right? All the guilt.
Yeah, and I was
Especially
mostly in
being together
the
for so long.
community and the families.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, but like there was, I mean, I know I completely get that you made a choice, and then so that's why like the way you expressed your love was this way, like we're just going to work it out, we're going to be together, blah blah, right? But like intuitively, I'm sure you had all kinds of warning bells, and like, okay, maybe this is not right for me, but I'm just going to do it this way. Like you had them, right? Like throughout, because there is that thing going on always as well.
For sure.
Yeah. No, because like the way I relate would be like, for example, with the one of the producers that we worked with, and the one that we came to Mexico with, definitely right from the start, like we already knew that like he had issues, there were some problems. We are not going to to work out well together. But like I was always with I need to love everyone, I need to figure out why, like, so, I was always on that like choice, and then just push through my intuitive no-nos, Yeah, so yeah, I think that it was, and this creates toxicity in the relationship, like both ways, like from me as well. Yeah.
But I mean, in the end, you always end up reaching a point where it's like, looking back, it's positive, like looking back.
Definitely, like it was meant to be, and everything. Not dissing the dude. Like,
not dissing anybody.
Very happy that we're here.
It's all love, Very grateful, very grateful. And I mean, this thing about the positive ego and about taking stress again. I mean, if you have a healthy ego, then stress is your friend. In fact, you kind of invite stress. I mean, like you take on problems to solve them, right? And this is something about coming full circle. You're in harmony with life. You don't need to get off the grid. You don't need to fight the system, or stuff like that. You kind of flow with it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing about integrating, all parts of yourself.
Right. Okay, so just to make sure that we hit the points of this episode, right? Like, I want to talk to you about like Ikigai. Like, it was one of the things that like you mentioned that it's important to you. So let's explore that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love talking to you guys.
How did you?
Yeah. So I'll first just define Ikigai in my words. So Ikigai at a high level is my purpose, and the intersections of what I love, what I'm good at, what the world needs, and sometimes what I can get paid for. And getting paid for could be through like friendships or through like shared experiences, not just monetary. And I think for a lot of my life, I've never been at that center point of all of those things, but I found parts within my health tech or my creative or my volunteering or my other activism that combine to that center. I prefer when I can do fewer things well. And I'm at this point of my life where I've got a few spheres kind of coming together. And when I get to meet people like you, or like, be able to collaborate with folks through friends of friends, like in Mexico City, and create amazing artwork with like David and like Damian Suarez, just like really awesome experiences with like coming with different cultures, experiences, and seeing what it's like to collaborate. Like that's a different level of showing an outcome of people being able to work together who are very different. And so how does that relate to my Ikigai? Well, it took me a long time to say I was an artist. Honestly, not until like maybe like last year. I always said I was a creative.
Oh, wow, cool.
Because there's a lot of pressure to say I'm an artist that I put onto myself. Like, I have to sell my art, or I have to have gone to art school, or I know what all of these like famous techniques are, or,
the labels that come with it, like the skills like that you have to be like, like a trophy. Yeah.
And all that stuff. Yeah, we hear you.
But I mean, creative is a perfect word as well, because you're not. I mean, artists can be limiting.
For sure. And so I guess like, where does like my Ikigai fit into all of us with Connect and beyond? It's, well, I think my strengths are with like really good like project structure. Like I develop, health apps and healthcare systems for big hospitals and companies, and I advise on these things.
Oh.
And I bring that level of structure to support creative projects that I absolutely love, because that's my natural habitat of like being extremely expansive and like ideating for days and like doing things like making a rice tub like that I could take photos with. I bought 100 pounds of rice to like put onto my face. But like that feels like, that's expansive, and then I don't make money from like anything from Connect, really. I just want to break even, if that. And I often lose money, to be honest, but I'm looking to try to make this sustainable for me and everyone around me too, because I want the artists.
Yeah.
I want people to be able to benefit from Connect. The point is that people can get work from it. I'm promoting everyone. So I want these creative people to stay in the community, because I want them to stay in the Bay Area, because it's so hard to find other creatives because it's so expensive to live there. And so I get other people just to like feel re-inspired, like going to Mexico City or Europe or Asia. And I want to be able to build those connections too, and invite people together for like international collaboration. That's so cool. And that feels
that sounds really cool.
Right. Yeah. So we would come through. When we come to San Francisco, we would join you for Sunday night. Yeah. I mean, that could possibly happen, of course.
No, but it's really interesting, this thing. I mean, so that whole part is so important to the equation, right? The business side of things. How do you manage that, or what's your approach to that?
What's my approach to managing the business side?
Yeah.
Honestly, I need to be better at it, because a lot of it was like, oh, Monique has this idea and this is like her kind of budget, and then I always spend more. But
okay.
All right. There are like different like spaces who've offered to maybe give me their spaces for like as a business expense, and I have fiscal sponsored. We have a C3. I'd say like I try to sell tickets to events. I make it sliding scale, and that's really hard. Like this last event, we charged sliding scale like 35 to whatever you can. And the suggestion was 55. Like that wasn't going to break even. So like the coaching group and I just would split the extra cost, because we wanted to bring diverse individuals and we wanted people to just show up. That was the most important thing for us. So that wasn't like a money making thing. Maybe in the future, what I could do is like beyond like the initial connectors and the key leads I'm investing in, allowing them to be the leads of these events, where then we can invite maybe 100, 200, 300 people, and then we could sell product tickets. And that would then be able to support the artists, help them get paid ball, right? Pay for the spaces, pay for all the food vendors, the chef that always works with me, basically as a volunteer. I would love for that to be sustainable for them.
Right. And do you have like sponsors? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And sponsors. Like, I would love to find other like rich donors or apply for grants. I've applied to a couple of grants, but you need to apply to a lot. I used to apply for them when I worked at Stanford, and we got like 10% acceptance, and that was actually really high. So that's a lot of grants.
That's really cool.
Here in Mexico, there are like specific associations for women business owners, or like collectives. I mean, in the US, is there like something like that where they'll give grants,
specialized grants and stuff.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's my next step. And I need help with grants and getting that to sustain well.
Especially for arts collectives. Like I think they have specifically for that. In Singapore as well, we do have. And for women, as well as I think for like I've seen in the US, like for Asian people, like there's a specific one for Asian people. Okay. Yeah, but I'm not sure what is it called.
Yeah, there are a lot.
Actually, you mentioned like Asia Pen API. I'm not sure if that's the one, but it's not right.
Yeah, there are a lot. You just gotta apply. And like apply a lot.
Cool, very interesting. I mean, this whole thing that it's like the art and meeting artists and different networks coming together. Right.
Yeah. The exact thing that you're doing is actually really cool, because it's like an explosion of art. Just come together and then do something and put it out there. Yeah.
And I mean, you mentioned photography as your main the main thing that you do, right? Like, is it something? Could talk to us a bit about that? Like why photography and what led to that? You know?
Yeah, I would say that photography is the main medium and I like to collaborate. So that's a little bit of just a nuance of what you say.
Okay.
I'm actually,
I would say not a photographer.
I'm a photographer too. I'm a mixed media artist.
Yeah.
So I'm not an expert in one thing. So that's another thing that's like an artist. It's like, what did you specialize in? Like oil, acrylic, ceramics. I would say that like I'm just dabbling in all the things. And I would say that
right.
It'd probably be abstract tissue paper collage, and then like really colorful photo shoots with different artists. But why do I like photography? Maybe that's what you're getting at. I think that it's an art that transcends through so much time. It's like they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but like that's so corny to me. I think that pictures just depict an emotion. It's like people's attention span in this like attention economy is so short, and it's like photos are punchy. And I think that you have to be really comfortable in front of the camera for the photos to look good. So what I really love about photography is it's extremely intimate. I hope that one of my strengths when I work with people is I help them feel comfortable as a step one. And then I think as a step two, helping them feel empowered and like powerful so that it shows up in the photos. It's as if they never have seen themselves in that way. I like to work with a lot of folks who I would say are closeted creatives. A lot of friends or people who I've just been really inspired by who may not have ever done a photo like that. And I want to help them see themselves like that.
Right. So you're really also a movement. You're really also doing a movement for like making everyone connect to their artistic side, right?
Yeah.
So
I love talking to them, learning about what I want to say too about Connect. It's like all these things.
Yeah. And like maybe when you come back to Mexico, like it could be like a Connect thing, you know, like like an extension of what Connect does. Because I think that you are really developing it right now. And there's a new handle for Connect, or like the studio Monique. It's Connect, right?
Mochi. I just was trying to be fun and do like mochi, like food, and like chi is like mochi. So I always try to put in too many things into handles, and like Connect is the handle for it. And the two eyes are supposed to be people connecting, and then Connect represents like connection, kinetic energy. So there's a lot in all the things that I choose.
Love it.
Yes, cool.
I love that when it has its concepts and meaning and like you put thought behind it. Yeah, definitely translates.
Yeah. Can you tell us a bit about like an event that you've done? Like, because these things are very, I mean, like to describe what might happen at an event that you do is like anything could happen, right? Because you have artists meeting each other and they're trying to create something new, right? So could you tell us a bit about something interesting? Yeah.
So during the pandemic, I got bored, right? And so I put plastic wrap in my entire living room, walls, and ceiling. And with my roommates and a close crowd of friends, I did a UV art party with music.
Wow. I like that.
All the lights, we bought UV lights, UV paint, painted ourselves, painted canvases, and just like expressed ourselves and like splattered paint on the walls that were usually pure white. And so I did this again recently with a bigger group of people with a combination of like questions to support each other and like learning about each other, and then again different art materials in UV light spaces. And I would love if we could work together to get a big warehouse and then let people with like big bass music and like other forms of music, and maybe like some sound healing and
I'm thinking that
and
we actually know a big warehouse. Actually, no warehouse.
It's a perfect space.
It's like an empty cinema. Like I think it would be perfect. Yeah. But you know what? Like that's exactly how I picture like your events, like art parties. You know, I think like Connect is like a big art party. people love to go for art parties. Like you definitely, I mean, it could be completely sustainable. Like you charge like an entry, and then you go in and like all the materials are provided, and then people just go crazy in there, and then
go there and they have
like a videographer takes the whole thing, and a photographer, and then after that you have all your materials, right? Yeah, wow.
And like to have it curated properly, right? I mean, that's the key also, right? To have the experience kind of curated, no, like to what it is, what it actually means. Like for us, when we do our live shows, we're going for pretty much the same kind of thing.
Right.
Like even the last single that we released, I mean, Universe Me, you know, that it becomes like what you're trying to say is one thing, but we're trying to affect some kind of real reaction from the people, like something real that can't be described, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Like I guess that's the whole performance art aspect that I think is really interesting.
Yeah. So this thing like that we could discuss like before you come back, like it could be like a art party pop-up, right? And then we can plan all the details.
Yep.
Yeah, and make it a real event.
Do that off camera so we can
section where people can go and like express themselves over there.
Oh wow, I like that, yeah. Like a booth, right? Yeah.
I'm keep adding to this, and like interview section, people can share their stories. And then like a T section for introverts who want to journal and like be quiet. You know, got design for all
like that.
right, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we can plan it. Yeah. Like I mean, so you're really thinking like March or like anytime earlier is possible?
Yeah, we could talk. Let's talk offline about dates.
Offline, yeah.
Yes. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's definitely do it.
Because for us, right now, I mean, we're really excited right now. I mean, like in terms of doing our art and putting it out there and testing out different technologies also and trying to connect with people in new and interesting ways. I mean, can you tell us a bit about some of these things that you've explored or these things that you kind of adopting to spread the Connect message?
So the question is, what are different things that I'm trying to do to grow Connect?
Actually, the question is like, since you're from the Bay Area, you know, maybe you can tell us a bit about what's new and what's exciting technology-wise, you know, like that maybe you use in getting your message to more people and connecting with more people.
Oh,
okay.
Like a what? Like a trend? Okay. Anyway, yeah, you go ahead. Sorry, I'm also trying to figure out. Yeah.
I think that like the biggest trend that sounds kind of cliche at this point is AI and art. Like I know different artists who are leveraging different AI tools from the content generation. I don't really use a lot of AI for my stuff because I like my language and my voice. But I've used Kapwing, which is my friend's video editing tool, to help create some reels. I'm not a reels person, but I've forced myself to learn how to do that because it helps showcase the experience in a bigger light. And I have a backlog of like 20 different experiences that I'm going to put on Connect, but it takes me so long to make the reels. So I'm trying to like use more tools, maybe like, hire other folks to help me make it.
Right. I mean,
yeah.
It's like, there's so many of these kind of like video chopping software and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's really interesting. But so this whole thing about like AI and you being the artist as an example, it's a whole interesting thing, right? Like you're saying you're not too like. Why don't you tell us a bit about how you use it, no? Or if you use it at all?
Right, and just a quick note, this is the last five or so minutes, like so.
Oh, okay. It is? Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Yes, please tell us about that. How you use AI.
I don't use it enough yet. Like I have not optimized for marketing, SEO. I focus on the relationships. I focus on the people and the in-person things, like calling them and like getting to know what people need. And so when a lot of the world invests in technology and AI, and I work in that sphere during the day, my goal is to connect with the people. I never want to lose that. So a lot of my efforts and energy has been there, but I would say that that's the next step for me is how can I like scale my effort and energy? How can I automate
Yeah.
my email? How can I automate
Right.
my outreach? Maybe I do go with ads. Maybe like, we hire someone to manage responding to people. I respond to everyone. I have a friend help me. Like, I'm not automating any of that yet because I don't want to do that yet.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but it's so good that you're building this real authentic connection with people first before you even, try to attempt to like market it or
because
promote
that's
it
what it's
for
about
people.
at the end of the day, right? It's about the
It's
connection.
sincere. Like it's
Yeah.
it's very important that is there. Like instead of all the like all the flashy stuff.
Yeah. Well, you've taught us you told us a few interesting things today. You want to close with something else you want to add to the people
More Ikigai. No, I'm kidding.
before we wrap up the show? Man.
Yeah, I'd say that the advice that I give myself and what I wish I'd given myself earlier is just like, just do what you love. It sounds, again, corny, but like, if it's not resonating with you, it's not going to serve you. And I think something that I've learned from a lot of creatives, it's like, it's hard to get started. It's expensive to get started. But it's like, what's the cost of not doing what you really want to do? Like, what impact does that have on your soul or your life? Like you can die any day. So are you going to like hide and just wait until you're retired to your creative stuff? No. You got to do that now.
Yeah,
do it now.
It's so important what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, for this episode, hashtag Ikigai, hashtag healthy ego.
And watch this space, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't take things personally. Yeah,
That's
so
not
good.
good.
Yeah, like they just throw all the advice right now before we end. Yeah, so Arthur, the production, the engineer, he's telling us right now we are over. Thank you so much for joining us for part 2.
Wonderful, wonderful episode. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely let's plan what to do for our art event. And also maybe come on again after or before for this show. Yeah?
Would love that. So, yes. Thank you both so much. Thanks, everyone.
Nice talking to you. I'm Isaac Rakesh.
I'm Celestine Angel, and we have Monique Nguyen with us, and we are signing out, activating your senses.
Peace.
Thank you to all who joined us here on That Foreign Show. It's been awesome. I'm Celestine Angel.
And I'm Isaac Crouch, and we'll see you next Friday. Have a great